All right. See, I'm just gonna turn on some background music. Enable the streams. Hello, Marco Vlach. Oh, snap. Right, so it's gonna be a bit of a shorter stream today, but I have been working. I just haven't been working at home because I had to be away first half of the day. But trust me, I did get some work done, and we don't have much left now. I will say that, and my hope is that we can get a testing version out. I'm gonna speak to that fish and see if he can make a testing version for the weekend. What we need to fix now is the ambience. So making sure that works, because there are some issues with that regarding like the sewers, I believe, has some weird ambience that's being heard beyond where it's supposed to be. Music in all the conversations. And that's something we're gonna have to like do a playthrough to address. We want the right music to trigger in the right conversations. All the mini games need to be fixed. We want to have every single mini game be playable. And then we're gonna fix a tutorial. But we're gonna start with the mini games today. That's what we're gonna fix, and we'll just see where the day takes us. So yeah, I was at a developer meetup yesterday. It was fun. We had a special guest over. The developers of this, like, they were OG sort of 2010s indie developers.
Said it's still Sponge.
Shit. Yeah, this Blambeer is the developer. This guy who came to visit, Rami Ismail. The Super Crate box is like one of the first early, you know. I mean, you see the review count is like 6,000 or whatever, but this was like 2010 Steam, so the Steam adoption rate and sort of scale of indie games wasn't super popular. So, but this was, you know, one of the earlier indie games. This one is Nuclear Throne as well, which is also like 13,000 reviews or whatever. So they showed up and they did talk about their upcoming game, which looked pretty interesting. Ah, you don't see anything. Shit. Yeah, Nuclear Throne. And this guy, the Vlambeer, which is run by this guy, who he's one of the OG indie devs. He's part of that OG indie dev scene, you know, around the time when like Minecraft and games like that were popping up. So 2010, you know. He's going wild with the busting. He's obsessed. You shouldn't have showed him Neil. He's turning the busting up to unhealthy amounts. So what I need to do is that's all right, Marco Vlach. You keep developing, you know. Keep slaying, as they say. The youth, keep slaying. Stay lit. Didn't they say that like 2020 or something? What do they say now? They fly? No. Stay humble. Penguin's getting old. Yeah, it's the brain deteriorates. Stay Sigma, but isn't like this the Sigma beta stuff is also like out of date, isn't it? What's the modern like? I feel like the moment the adults and the mainstream media start using words that they're out of date, you know. Yeah, what would be the kind version of Unk? Senior. Star Wars poster is done. Is it in fan art? Oh, hell yeah. It's yogurt. Is your workflow different now that you have the drawing tablet? Like in terms of shaping the penguins and stuff? Very nice. You can draw faster. Okay, yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, that's... Oh. Yeah, you should have gone to not just Iceland, but then to a volcano with bread on top of it. Lava bread. And then he goes to Finland. Marks per minute. Isn't that like the Adrian Brody meme? That's like old school shit. Isn't it the Adrian Brody meme? Which one is it? Brody Quest. Yeah, that's what it's from. 14 years is old, dude. 14 years is old. Oh, that's the Neil Sister. Oh, I didn't know he was the originator of that one. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean he originated a bunch of those OG memes. Meme machine. Yeah, I was busy the first half of the day, but I still got some work done. So we only have, and I'll read you the exact notes of what I have left. My colleague basically does nothing in this game except for the music. He's done the music. I've done everything else. He drafted up a new Penguin Village design. And then he basically just left me to do my thing. That's basically all that happened, and I did the rest, pretty much. Now we're talking. I wonder, because the fishing game is a prefab. Oh, it's the bank bridge. Shit. Well, I guess I have to make the hoses then. I'll just do the default one is going to be but when we're talking about like Penguin Heist, he will do pretty much all the music. He will do he'll do shader coding. He will do pretty much all the level design. He'll do UI design quite often. So like all the shop systems and stuff he's designed. So like the clothing store and all those things, he designed that. But that's not, you know, like when it comes to like the UI and anything coding related, I can pretty much do. Like there's no specific skill set he has that makes him more capable of making a store UI. It's just he ended up doing it. But when it comes to making like big sizable levels, I would say he's definitely better at that than me, because he's just built up a stronger workflow for that compared to me. He can dish out models like there's no tomorrow when he really gets down and does it, you know. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when it comes to like having someone to work with, you should generally not look at it as allowing you to do things you would otherwise be unable to do. You should always be willing to like embrace a challenge as an indie dev. There should never be something that should be way too scary for you to be like, oh yeah, I'm never doing that. In general, you should be ready and willing to learn anything, right? But of course, you should also learn to make the sort of estimation of like, okay, yeah, this is probably going to take me this long to learn this thing. Because that's also a valuable thing to know. And that's something you know, that repertoire of of knowing how long things take is something you build up over time. But you need to be a jack of all trades when it comes to being an indie dev. Unless you start working for a company, in which case, you don't have to. Generally, they're a bit more lenient on expertise. Yeah, it's like... jack off. Blender is a behemoth, but it's like, you know, there is a... it's a simple concept that becomes increasingly difficult, right? You need to learn just basically what is an edge, what is a vertex, and what is a face. When you know that, you've mastered modeling, basically, right? You can do anything now, given that you know how those work. But then, yeah. Well, the animation, there's no animation to speak of. This is all like, it's rigged in Blender, but the animation is actually just done with joints in Unity and physics forces. But there's no like, there are no keys or anything, so it's all just physics-based, which is why they're so floppy and wobbly, because there's no actual animation going on. Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to animate. If you're not making a physics-based game, even if you are making a physics-based game, generally animation is the way to go. You want to learn how to animate. And I will animate occasionally in Unity. But like, I haven't worked on a game yet where animation in Blender has been required. But let's say you want to make like a competent walk animation. Then you'd want to do that in Blender, because Blender supports like you make half of the animation and then you can invert the animation and make it mirrored, so you can have like an identical walking animation for both legs, like left and right. If you're just animating in Unity, you'd have to basically eyeball it and be like, oh yeah, this sort of looks even. So Blender affords you all kinds of tools for competent animations. But there's a learning curve, and especially with Blender, the big key is all the shortcuts, right? There's a shortcuts for filling in the face, for extruding vertices, for scaling, for working with like local and global positions, working with the normal positions, inverting normals. There's like, list goes on and on and on, and all the different types of way you can unwrap models and texture them, and working with materials. And there are many things to learn. But for like shaping, giving something a shape, it's just vertices, edges, and faces, and normals, I guess. But that goes with faces. But understanding those concepts is like key. Yeah, I mean, it becomes second nature at some point when you worked enough in Blender. I used to be very slow in Blender, and now I'm quite fast. And it's the only thing that has allowed that to happen has been the fact that I've been working in Blender. Thank you so much, Agent Sausage, for the subscription. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Depression Club. No, I mean, I feel like the big benefit for me when it comes to like answering questions is it helps me, even if, you know, even if I spend time on it, and even if my answer like sucks, it's still like a practice in formalizing my thoughts. And I think that's always good, because that becomes a learning experience for myself too. I think, you know, you don't really know what you know until you start speaking about it. And recognize sort of like, oh yeah, I thought I knew this, but when I'm trying to now actually explain it, I'm not really explaining it in the way that I want to, and it turns out that maybe I didn't know as much as I thought I did. So that's why I think it's generally good to be forced to explain things. Are these are all not enabled. I don't understand why it's not rendering. Oh, I guess the entire fishing game is this. Yeah. Preview, speech bubble, visible pose. Okay. This ought to work. We're gonna give this a try. But I think for me, with Blender especially, you want to watch tutorials, because you're not gonna figure out the stuff you need to figure out. Hello, Aces, hi. And bye again, I guess. You're not gonna figure out what you need to figure out on your own. Like, you just aren't. So watch a couple tutorials. If you're like, you know, oh, how do I make a pipe bend in Blender? Just look up a tutorial for making a pipe bend in Blender. Like, look it up, because there are a wealth of tutorials. And also there are like some pretty good YouTube Shorts channels that do like these quick form tutorials that I've often used. It's hard to remember sort of the tricks they teach you all the time, but if you use them frequently for like a project or a model, it's good. But many features in Blender are like, oh yeah, I will only use this like 1 or 2 times ever in the span of like however many months. So it's hard to remember them all as well. Not. Look at him go. I recently added I'll fix this now actually. Put that in the villager. Wait, I guess I need to change it. Yeah, because I noticed like there's a problem, well not a problem, but it feels kind of weird when you can punch penguins without like any reaction, so I changed it to be that penguins are going to have some reactions to your punches now. Hey.
Everlast_Eve rated my stream with 2
Oh no!
views.
Evetopia is here, Everlast Steve. I'm Everlast Steve.
This is Mr. Penguin.
Another subscriber. Thank you. Hello, Mother Mikey. Well,
He is really good at dancing.
Everlast_Steve has learned to dance.
oh my god, it's actually Everlast Steve. Actual Everlast Steve. Alt account, nice. I'm Everlast Steve. What do you say about punching there, bro? I didn't catch that. Add knockback to punches. Like just in general, so they fly into the stratosphere? Oh, you mean like in Penguin Heist or Detective? Both. Man, I want to record a video in Penguin Village and be like, I'm working on a Penguin GTA game, and it's me driving a car, and then I get out and I just shoot someone, and then I drive away. That would be so good. Imagine the Pisquin kid flying because of the knockback. Yeah. No, but like imagine the potential for Penguin Village when I can actually oh yeah. I should probably add something like that, shouldn't I? Okay, so when I punch him now, hey, watch where you're swinging those things. Oops. Oh shit. It's sort of working, but it's like it works for him. See there, but some issue there, but basically now they're actually going to react to getting punched. So you can't just punch villagers without them talking to you. They're going to scream, but they'll be like, you know, ouch, that hurts, and they'll say like different things. And I could write custom reactions for like specific NPCs. So maybe like if you punch Rex, he can say something back like, you know, if you keep this up, you'll get fired or something like that. Punch every penguin in town. Yeah, that would be a good hidden achievement. Nefarious. I think that's the one, yeah. So, and not NPC dialogue. The punch reaction, I think. Because I basically implemented this in the old time. We'll try this. Will there be achievements? Yeah, there will be. I'm not even sure if we're gonna get them in for launch. Maybe, you know. Yeah, seems to be working. Uh-oh. Yeah, she's dead. I know how to fix this though. Like, you shouldn't be able to speak to anyone who's knocked out in the first place. So, NPC dialogue. And then, or, hello, Sai, what's up? Or, is there like... Or not is not NPC. And enemy dot state out. Or state is dead. So this should be Good Friday. That isn't Good Friday in 1 week though. It's not Good Friday yet. Långfredagen. Oh man, I'm so hyped for the Easter eggs. The Icelandic Easter eggs are literally the king. They have it figured out. The Swedish Easter eggs suck. I think this is more tradition in the UK or something. But basically they will make these massive, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Huge Easter eggs, chocolate, and they'll fill them with candy, and every single candy producer makes their own variation. And then there's a little word of wisdom in every single egg. Það til lítils að hlaupa ef stefnt í skakka átt. So that's there's no much point in running if the direction is off, basically. But they have, like, every single producer makes their own variation. So there's like licorice eggs, there's caramel eggs, chocolate eggs, and then some are making like these fancy ones, like this one here is like a artisan chocolate and stuff. But we have this one store that's called Bonus, which is a grocery store. But I thought that'd be... And they made their own this year, which is like such a meme. They made the namigris, which is the pig Easter egg. Because their mascot is a pig. And it looks small, but it is big. It is really big. Kind of looks like Lechonk. Yeah, kind of. But yeah, we have the same word in Swedish, gottegris, which is the same sort of namigris that they're making a pun with. But man, these are nice. And then every year they also, they put the like chickens, these like chickens on top. Some of them put like toys or whatever, but I like the chickens. I have a chicken collection for all the Easter eggs I have. I bring these to Sweden usually, because I usually visit around these times. Show up with these eggs for my family. They're good stuff. Okay, let's see here. I won't visit this Easter, no. I will, now he's dead and he doesn't speak to me. I won't visit this Easter. I will visit in May. But that should be, not too long for me to buy one of those eggs and just keep around to bring home anyway. Okay, so now they actually react to you punching them. I'll just make some variations later. Hey, watch where you're swinging those things. Oops. But we could even, I think we want to... Yeah, send you guys an Easter egg. I remember I did contracting work for this Norwegian company, this Norwegian game company. I made math games for the state of Norway, and that's the only other job I've worked, basically. And holy shit, did you guys see that? They looked freaky. they randomly sent me, because I was living in Iceland when I was doing that job, and I get a knock on my door, and turns out that they've ordered pizza for me from Domino's,
1001 said, plus he sees.
which was quite a nice surprise, being that I was a poor student at the time. But I know it's a big meme for like company culture to be like, oh yeah, we're not gonna give you a raise, but we will have a pizza party for you. And I was like, oh my god, I don't want pizza, I just want more money. But for me, it's like, I never have pizza because I was poor. So I say, thank you very much. I really appreciate this pizza. You fed me for 2 days. Just restarting Unity here, and then we're gonna try the fishing game and see if that... A sad story? Well, I mean, it's not like I couldn't afford pizza. It was just like... my main... Like, my main diet back when I didn't have that big of an income was baked potatoes, occasionally noodles, and all kinds of soup. So I'd make like tomato soup, spinach soup, cauliflower soup. I'd make Indian curries as well, because they also are quite bang for your buck. If you know how to make them, you just gotta spend some on spices, you know, out the gate, but those spices last and they go a long way. But baked potatoes, man, they're freaking delicious. I love baked potatoes. I had baked potatoes the other day, but I had loaded baked potatoes with like eggs and I made like this sort of tofu mince filling as well. Delicious stuff. The Dutch cook their potatoes. Yeah, that's good. I mean, it would be weird if you guys didn't cook your potatoes. Not so healthy to eat raw potato. You can eat 1 or 2, but you shouldn't eat that much more. And it's not too tasty either, so. Oh, wait. I noticed that the... Oh, you eat boiled potatoes. Boiled potatoes is normal, yeah. But I generally, when I make potatoes, I very rarely have them boiled. I'll cut them in half. And I generally buy the small, like, delicacy potatoes as opposed to the bigger ones. And I'll cut them in half, line them on... I'll first chuck them all in a bowl with whatever spices I have. So lots of salt, a generous amount of salt, and then whatever spices I have, whether that's pepper, paprika, chili, cumin, cinnamon, all kinds of different spices, depending on the dish I'm serving. maybe some thyme or whatever, rosemary. And then I just chuck them in the oven and let them just roast flat side down for however long they need. And they're gonna be crispy and delicious on the flat side, and then, you know, always skin on. Never peel the potatoes. Never peel the potatoes. Only time you should peel a potato is if you're it could be you're in edit mode. You can't do subdivision while in edit mode unless you're trying to do the subdivision using a not modifier. But if you're in edit mode and you're trying to subdivide, it won't work. But yeah, the only time I'll peel a potato is if I'm boiling the potato. Not boiling, is if I'm making mashed potatoes. But even then, I generally enjoy mash with the peel. Like I will often mash my potatoes with
use
peel.
the text-to-speech reward to have your message spoken out loud by our bot.
Shit. Okay, seems like the fishing game worked. That's good.
Sai1001 said, use the text-to-speech reward to have your message spoken out loud by our bot.
I'm getting a phone call from John Pork here. 1 second. Sorry, okay. If I was a penguin, I would probably enjoy being in a zoo more than in the wild. Because in the zoo, I would not get ravaged by freaking lion seals or leopard seals or whatever it is they're called. And that would be, you know, my pleasure would be to not get eaten. Yeah, I don't see myself wanting to put myself through that sort of trauma just so I get to have the privilege of living in the wild. You know? Yeah, I haven't played Balatro, so I'm not super familiar with what it, you know, what it's about. But isn't it like, would it be unfair to describe it as like a poker-like game, but with random modifiers to like improve your chance of winning or whatever, making like streaks and combos or whatever? That's sort of the idea. Yeah, well, I know it's not poker, but it's poker-like, isn't it? Like it's, you know... Yeah. But in terms of like the actual like getting a royal straight flush and getting like a pairs and whatever. Like the scoring system. Yeah. Yeah, I might. I don't know. Like my problem with like playing games in general is that I feel like when I play games, I risk putting myself in the position where I draw too much inspiration from them. And it's almost like when I make games, I just want to stay away from games as much as possible, almost. And I know many musicians say the same thing about playing, like, listening to music while making an album. If you listen to music when you're making music, the music you listen to sort of ends up bleeding into whatever it is you're making. And I mean, I can tell already... when I just hear about like Schedule 1, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to make everything like Schedule 1, but I'm not going to play Schedule 1 because I don't want to end up ripping off Schedule 1. But it's just, I'm looking at like, what are people saying? What are they liking about this? Okay, they're liking these things. Okay, well, I could take like a general inspiration from whatever it is that they say they like without directly being like, okay, yeah, I'm going to copy every single thing. Yeah, I think this it is important to be like distant from your inspirations, because yeah, there are so many artists and you know, whatever that just wear their influences on their sleeve almost to a fault. And I think that the best creativity comes when you're working a bit more in isolation, while still having sort of those inspirations on the back burner, as opposed to front and face and being like, oh yeah, I watched this one movie and now I want to make the exact same thing that I just watched. Which I think also is like when you hear many musicians who make music you like, the music they like generally sounds nothing at all like the music they actually make. You'll have many people who make like, you know, jingly jangly pop music, and oh, what do they listen to? Like, oh yeah, they listen to friggin' heavy metal shit, or like heavy metal artists who listen to classical music, whatnot, you know. Many times the musicians in a scene aren't even ingrained in the scene that they're even in. Here's what they actually listen to.
Jopico1324 said, Flint and Steel chicken jockey.
Flint and Steel. Chicken jockey! I love Minecraft movie. Unironically though. Screw the haters. The haters are our uncles. Yeah, well, that part's upsetting, but the director of the movie says he loves it. So, you know, I support it. No, I mean, it's just kids doing stupid kid shit. It's like, And the moment they're trying to stopping it, you know, it sort of it becomes the Streisand effect. You know, people just want to do it because they're not supposed to do it. I don't know if anyone's genuinely destroying the cinema. Like, people are, you know, bringing like chickens, throwing popcorn and stuff. They're creating a mess, but I don't know if anyone's actually destroying anything. I don't think there's a... Yeah. But I mean, it's like, what are you gonna do, you know? There's nothing you can do about it. It's just that this is just the hype, and that's what people are doing right now. But like when I went to see it in the movies, people were getting hyped, but there was no like popcorn throwing, and that was like definitely one of the better movie going experiences I had, because it was like, I don't know, it felt like watching Endgame. Even though I've never seen Endgame, I could imagine that's sort of what it was. Applause when Steve showed up, applause and screaming the lines, you know, it was like, it was just good vibes in the cinema there. The FNAF movie, I did not, no. But I never played FNAF either, so I didn't have any emotional attachment to it. I do know Matt Pat, yeah. But I've never watched one of his videos, but I just know the game theory meme. And I know friggin' Robber. Robber is sort of the result of Matt Pat's horrible sort of obsession with video game lore. I assume he shows up in the movie. Oh, yeah. But the thing is, like, when Steve or Jack Black in the Minecraft movie says Flint and Steel, it doesn't feel like a wink at the audience. It's just that the audience decided that every single time they say something like that, it is a wink at them, and they went crazy for it. Him saying Flint and Steel is just, it's like a throwaway line that he's saying like way too like over the top. But the thing is, like, Jack Black's acting in that movie is like at 110% throughout the entire thing. He's sort of channeling, like, you know, the Jim Carrey, like, just completely over the top. Which I liked, because it didn't feel like, you know, to me, it feels annoying when a movie is like almost winking at you. It's like, you know this. You're a fan of this franchise. Robin Williams would probably have made a good Steve. He would probably have made a good Steve. He's got that Steviness, that sort of like default human vibes. For sure. But like, imagine how trash the movie would have been if it was Chris Pratt who played Steve. Imagine how bad that would have been. Yeah, he did okay, but it was like, there's nothing memorable about his Mario performance. That's the thing. He did okay, but okay is like the bare minimum for any actor doing any role. And that's what bothers me with the Mario movie, is that there's nothing memorable about the Mario movie. Well, I think Chris Pratt is hilarious in Parks and Recreations. I love him in Parks and Recreations. But I don't think since the moment when he went Hollywood, which is basically like Jurassic Park and onward, he hasn't, like, I don't know, to me he just feels like devoid of personality at this point in time. And I'm sure he's like a nice person and all, but it's like his acting comes off kind of stale for me. Well, he doesn't even play Chris Pratt. I don't know, it just feels like he plays no one. Like the what's it called? The Passengers movie with what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence and him. That one's also like insanely bland. Like he's just turned into Hollywood face number 347 point, you know, whatever. He's just one amongst the rest. Yeah, I think, you know, I could see Chris Pratt working as Steve if Chris Pratt was, you know, doing his old, like, comedic chops Chris Pratt. But if he's doing, like, a Mario Chris Pratt, like, no. But the Steve character is definitely like, you know, it's whatever. But I like the sort of crazy insanity that Jack Black was doing with Steve. But I mean, you guys know the original 90s Mario movie, right? That one was horrifying. You rent that one on VHS, and you're thinking, what the flip did I just watch? Yeah, but it's also like, I like that, you know, they show up in this Minecraft world and no one acknowledges the absurdity of it. They just roll with it, you know? And I feel like that's missing in so many movies. They always want to do like, spend friggin' 30 hours like, oh my god, this is so absurd, I can't believe it. We're in a world of blocks, this makes no sense. It's so weird. Do you guys realize how weird this is? Whoa, this is so absurd. I can't believe I'm flying on elytra wings right now. This is crazy.
This is Fernando Miguel.
Thank you so much.
Really good at dancing.
Side has learned to
Died. I don't know. I'm sort of done with the whole get transported to magical realm and be shocked by how magical and crazy and whimsical the magical realm is. It's like, no. I know it's magical and whimsical. You don't have to go any deeper into that. Let's see here where the minecart controller. So that's the thing here. Yeah. Did you guys know in the Minecraft event, like the Minecraft movie event in Minecraft that they've been hosting, because there were like some inconsistencies in the ways that like some stairs were, and like there's a Minecraft house stairs movie. I don't know if they have mine. But there was like some inconsistency with the way that the stair block lined up. I don't know. Yeah, there it is. So they had this thing. You see here, it's like the stair goes like this, but then the stairs are inverted there. And they actually imported this into Minecraft itself. So in Minecraft, it also has this error of the stairs not going like, you know, the right way. So it's like half inverted, where really, if you're trying to make it realistic, it would either go up or go, you know. Yeah, like that. That's in Minecraft. They're showing how it would have to be. But the Minecraft nerds were like, oh, there's a disrespect to Minecraft because it's not. This is not how it was. This is the animation net, the animation web and sequence. To see here, I think. Like there is some animation missing here because they'd be equal length otherwise. See here, crash, okay. Oh, there isn't even a crash animation, okay. Still something missing. Flapping seems to be. What the hell? Are you a penguin? Yeah, I'm penguin. The same now? No, still like one missing. Said hi. Yeah, I'm so glad it's true. Flipper stand. Okay, all of it's there. Now. Crashed. Okay. It's all working. So that should be, let's see, what mini games do we have? So we have the minecart, the slots, fishing, gym working, dancing should be working. I haven't tested it yet because I think it is working. Hey, yo. A vagrant. Monkey. Oh, see you. See, we have he's spinning way too slow, isn't he? There's nothing natural about his movement. I need to fix that. I think all the mini games should be done. We're gonna walk through them all. Then it's tutorial, music in all combos, ambient sounds, and playthrough. So playthrough, I think I'm going to be doing tomorrow or on Sunday. But I will probably do some work on Sunday, so you can expect probably a Sunday stream. Because we're on, as they call it, road to release. So yeah, the music is saved now, so it saves what music was playing when you were playing last. Stream is not ending, no. It's ending in like an hour or something. So we need to try, we've tried the fishing game, we're gonna try the minecart game. The animations in the minecart game are absolutely scuffed and I will have to fix them. But it's not a necessity for the game to even release to have those fixed, in my opinion. Ah! You just hear the crash. Oh my god. No, but I was just speaking sort of in general terms. I'm not, stream isn't over yet. Let's see here, what was the issue? Penguin in minecart. Is it like unassigned or something? Articles are correct. Posable penguin, oh. Oh, we should also make him... Wait, but when he's animated, I just need to see this. Okay, yeah. So he can just have the T-pose and be fine. Let's see here. The game camera is there. I guess, yeah, probably was just not setting the penguin correctly then. Give it one more go. Oh, wait. Is that... I wonder if it's not setting it dirty. That could be the issue. Because then it wouldn't save the changes, would it? Yeah, okay. And then we'll do, if, just an assembly definition there. Darts seem to be assigned. Yeah, I'll have a forgiving rest of stream. See you later, Mega. Enjoy work at the store. But yeah, the idea with Penguin Village, when that's coming up, is that I want to do like frequent updates and frequent testing, and I want to have at least you guys, as far as we can, sort of along with me on the journey of like making this game. And I want to set up like a rigid and reliable way to push out updates so that we can do, you know, sort of like flight school-ish, you know, like I add a feature and I can just click a button and the new version is up on Steam for all of us to like play together and test. So it's going to be like a bit of a collaborative experience almost, you know? So my thinking goes. But I'm really excited for it. I am. And I'm thinking about all the different like ways I can market this, because this could be big. And it's going to be a chance for me to address all of the issues I've wanted to address with Penguin Heist for a long time, and really work through all those issues. When it comes to specifically like networking, because we're gonna do a fresh start. We're gonna do a lot of like refactoring old code and making sure everything runs like clockwork. You know? Okay, so let's try the minecart. Swing, swing, swing. Shit. Well, the music is playing, but yeah, okay, so a couple of things. I noticed that with a fishing minigame as well, so I'm gonna do just fix that right away. Class mines. Why doesn't Minecraft have shading? I don't know. Just probably just poor lighting. It doesn't matter that much to me at this point. I'm just trying to fix these minigames. Okay, input. Wait, how do I do input for minigames? Like a minecart controller or something? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, that's the thing with the... Um... How do we get this in an efficient way? I mean, we could make it public. How do you do collect again? I don't know. We could have it static, it doesn't matter, does it? Is tomorrow the day? Tomorrow is the day. And there is a giveaway. I think it's still running on Twitter, X. Just search up me, like, at that other fish on Twitter, and you can participate. Yeah, it's makeshifts only. Like, I would probably have done the giveaway somewhere else if they were okay with it, but it sounds like they just want to do it there. Right, so the thing with that is that that's something that Unity just calls on its own. So that method always exists as part of mono behavior. I can show you just a second. So basically, in programming, there's something called inheritance, which is the idea of like you can define a parent class that contains a bunch of data, whether that's methods or values or whatever. In Unity, the generic sort of parent class is called mono behavior. And mono behavior defines a couple of methods that will always get called no matter what, given that, you know, there is a state that triggers them. So one of those might be the update. Update is called once every frame, as we know. There's the fixed update. That gets called once every physics frame. And that's always part of your class, whether or not you define it or not. It's always existing because you're inheriting from mono behavior. Because when you define your class, you know, let's say you call your class foo, and then you have the colon here denoting that it's foo inheriting all of the features and methods and values from mono behavior. Mono behavior also comes with the references to like transform. So that's how you can access the transform. If you don't inherit from mono behavior, you won't be able to access your transform. It also lets you access the game object because all mono behaviors exist on a game object and have access to a game object. But there are also some other things that are sort of like conditional methods that exist within mono behavior, and one is on collision enter. And this one also, just like the update and the fixed update, always exists as part of the mono behavior parent class. And on collision enter gets triggered when a physics-based object enters a collision. And it gets called by the engine itself. And when this happens, the engine passes into this predefined, pre-existing method. It passes in a collision object or collision data, which is named other. But you could literally call it, and you could call it anything. The most important part is just that it's a collision. You could call it collision col. You could call it collision C. You know, it doesn't matter. It just has to be able to accept a data in the form of collision, because that's why you do override, right? It's public override void. Or I think is it override? Is it public void on collision end, or is it public override void? I forget. Public void. Sure. Yeah, it's just public void on collision enter. But this just exists as part of it, right? But you're essentially overriding the default implementation of on collision enter, which is like nothing happens. The default expectation for a collision is that nothing happens. See? That's just the default expectation. But you were saying that I want stuff to happen when a collision occurs, and to know what kind of collision occurred, you can access this collision data that gets passed. And you can just call this collision C, collision other, collision col, whatever. So you can do like, if the collision C, if the game object that triggered that collision, if its name equals fish, then, you know, we call the method do something, you know? But not only do we call do something, but we call do something and pass in the game object, for example. That is exactly the thing. So if you're writing your own custom engine, you have to define all of those things on your own. You have to define what constitutes a collision, what data gets sent on a collision, how often do you resolve for collision, how do you resolve for collision, how do you resolve for collisions of different shapes, whether that's circular, spherical, rectangular, box colliders, convex, mesh colliders. There's all different kinds of collisions that can occur, and you have to resolve for all of them, and then you have to pass the kind of data. But like collision on collision enter has like so many things that you can read data from. So with on collision enter, collision C, the C needs to also be the name of the part's name. No, so C, like you're just naming a variable. Like the important part, what you're saying here, when you're saying collision enter, collision, we'll call it X. This is saying basically, I accept data of type collision. That's all you're saying, right? You're saying I accept data of type collision. That's it. And the name here, whatever you name it, is completely irrelevant. That's just for you to work with, right? Like you can call it X, you can call it C, because this is just a name, right? This is the important part. You're saying I accept data of type collision, but that's because Unity's predefined method on collision enter only accepts collision data. So when you want to override its implementation, you also have to write out that you are accepting collision data and its name is on collision enter. Yeah, exactly. It's like an empty variable in the method. Yeah, it's called this is called a parameter. These whatever you put into a method is called a parameter, right? So when you're defining a method in math, you know, you have the f of x equals y. This is like the math way of stating it, where f is the function, or in C#'s case, we don't call it function, we call it method, right? X is the parameter, and y is the output. And if you're defining f of x equals y, like if you call it f of b equals y, well, it doesn't matter because f of b equals y is the same, because y, the output, if the output is identical, it doesn't matter what we call the variable. So f of b equals y is also equals to f of x equals y. You see? Like this is all we're saying. The name of the parameter is completely irrelevant. It's just how you use the parameter in the method that matters. Yeah. Like basically what you're saying is I accept any data of type collision, but for my case I'm just going to call this collision X because that's what I think is a handy name to call this collision. But you could also be, for this case, I'm going to call my collision coal because I think coal kind of sounds like collision, so that's why I'll call it coal. But at the end of the day, like you can do if c.gameObject.name equals fish, but if I call it coal, then I could do coal.gameObject.name equals fish. It's the same. They're identical. They're in the computer's processor, there's no difference. Well, basically, like, this entire thing is the parameter. When you say collision X, you're saying X is of type collision. So they're entwined. They have to come together, right? You can't type X collision. It's collision X. That's just the syntax. It's just like in English you would say red chair, not chair red. Because you're saying this chair is red. Just like this X is of type collision. Yeah. So that's just the syntax, just like grammar. But there could be another language, another programming language where this is flipped. And there are languages where it is flipped. Some languages, instead of having collision X, they'd write it X colon collision. And that's just like how some languages write it. And in Python, you know, if they had a similar game engine written in Python, it would be on collision enter, and they don't even define the types in Python, so there would just be X, because they have an interpreter that just guesses or figures out what type it is you're working for you. So it's all syntax, and that's why you have to sort of be familiar with the syntax so it can flow like water. But yeah, it's I think many tutorials don't explain sort of the fundamentals of why things are the way they are. But instead we'll just say like, oh yeah, this is how it is. So if we're looking at pre-existing methods, there is one thing you should look into, and even if you don't understand it fully, there is the order of execution or event functions. So these are sort of the built-in methods that you will be using in Unity. And every game engine has to define an order in which things happen. And this explains the order in which things happen. And these are all built-in methods for mono behavior. So basically, when you load a level and an object is like starts doing its thing, awake is called. Then on enable is called. And then reset may or may not be called. Which is reset is called when the script is attached and not in play mode. And start is only ever called once for a given script. Start is basically called as soon as the level boots up. So when the scene boots up in play mode, start is called. And then fixed update gets called. Fixed update may happen less than once per frame at higher frame rates, or more than once per frame at low frame rates. Because the entire physics engine is running separate from the graphics rendering engine. Those are two separate things. So physics is running independent of the frame rate, because it's CPU and GPU and the sort of different calculations you're doing. So those are two decoupled things. And then within physics, you have all these separate things like on animator move, on animator inverse kinematics, on trigger enter, exit, stay, on collision enter, exit, stay. And then it waits for the next fixed update and returns there. And then you have the input events. So that would be like on mouse, on key down, and stuff like that. Then you have the update that gets called, and that's the one that you've been working with probably. You have all the coroutines getting called here. So if you're doing like the enumerator stuff, which is stuff that you can run every frame but sort of independent of the update, there's all kinds of stuff. And then you have like rendering, gizmo rendering, GUI rendering, pausing, and then the actual like when the entire app shuts down. So when you shut down the entire thing, like disabling an object, destroying an object, quitting the game. But yeah, if you ever wonder like the order of things occurring, just look up this order of execution in Unity. Yeah, but every game engine has to define this. This has to be defined and it has to be understandable, because when you're working in a game engine, you can't just let things happen out of order willy-nilly. There has to be a logic to the order in which operations occur. Otherwise, you can't code for it, right? But that's why it's helpful to make your own game engine. Not like, not make like a full 3D render game engine, but make like a simple 2D game engine outside of Unity to get like a grasp on things. You could make it in JavaScript too, and using WebGL, you could, but just making like a game engine from scratch is a great exercise. And it doesn't have to have like audio, it doesn't need anything like that. You could just make a physics engine and a rendering engine and decouple those and just see how that works. Because that's a great exercise if you want to learn. So
This is Fernando Miguel. He is really good.
Oh, thank you. Lumi.
Learn to dance.
Welcome. So I learned coding just on my own. I was mostly coding like a lot in Python and Java when I was a kid. I would like go to the library and just pick up random books and just do exercises from them and just have fun with it. And I'd be coding like text RPGs in Python, just using the input method and then a while loop, and that's it. Like super simple stuff. And again, you're making Pong and you're seeing how difficult that is. And it's the same thing with making a text RPG. You think it's easy, but then you're trying to scale up and it becomes very difficult. But then, yeah, I went into university. And that's when things really kicked off. I did computer science, and there's a lot of coding there. But it's of course very computation focused. You're not necessarily learning game dev there. I think game dev is still a very artistic skill. It's not an engineering skill. You can't be you're not a good game dev because you're a good engineer, right? But you need to be a good engineer to be a good game dev. Generally, not always. But it is recommended if you want to make whatever it is you want to make, that you know a bit of programming. Okay, let's see. So we have the fishing game. media control. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you can design great games, but you're not necessarily going to get anywhere unless you there has to be someone who does code. It doesn't have to be yourself. That is true. It could be someone else. But there are great game devs or game designers, I guess you could say, who haven't touched code. But still, I think you need some level of understanding of the way that a computer works in general to sort of wrap your head around of what is possible to do, so you don't like shoot for the stars too often. But there are many people who have made very competent games who have had very little engineering expertise. Sometimes grit and determination will take you a very long way. Well, so I initially did quite a bit of Java. I was using Java Swing back in like 9th grade or something, and I was making like a 2D text RPG with like a world map and stuff. It wasn't the fanciest thing. I'm not gonna say that, but it was like I did a lot of Java coding as a kid, just as a hobby to like, I don't know. But then in university, it was even more Java, lots of Java. And then C++ and you do Python. You do some C. You do like functional programming in like Haskell and Scheme and stuff like that. But C# is where I live, and C# is like Java but good. So I love C#. Yeah, the reason I do this is because I do not like I don't do this generally. I think it's generally when I there's like some auto formatting and stuff. I don't generally do this, but again, it's like I'm the only guy working on this, so for me, some rigorous formatting is not something I'm too obsessed over. And that I am not. There are many faults with my code, and the structure and look of it is definitely one. But I get around, and I can manage quite big monoliths of code. Like my enemy code is a legendary mess. Like it's and keep in mind it's even messier. It's less messy than it used to be, because I extracted a bunch of functionality and made like a behavior tree. It used to be far more complex, but it's like for the enemy code, there's about 4,000 lines of code for the enemy. But the enemies suck ass. But they're mildly complex. But I am gonna rewrite the entire game. The entire multiplayer. I'm gonna transfer it to a new networking library. And that's gonna be exciting, because I'm gonna have to go back to all my crash code and refactor. But I'm excited for that. But let's yeah, I don't know. I feel the same way. It's like, you know, you can. Oh shit. Seems like the hammer is too high up. Yeah, I need to do we stand? The king? We probably stand, right? Oh, we need to bet. We'll bet 1,000. Oh, ooh, we stand. We stand on that. I win! King? I bet even more this time. Do we stand? A king is a 10, right? In blackjack, a king is a 10. We have to stand. You don't take a hit on that. Ah, ooh. Scary. 8. Hit me. Oh, yes. I win. Okay, I killed you in blackjack. Yeah, this game is releasing in like 4 days, so I'm just trying to make sure all the mini games are working. Because this game is a spin-off of my other game, Penguin Heist. And I'm basically... Ace counts as 1 or 10, I believe. Isn't that... I don't know, I wrote the code for blackjack like ages ago, like a year plus ago or something. All these minigames are from my other game, Penguin Heist. So it's all like legacy code that this game is running on. Yeah. I think I need a silence trigger inside the gym as well. Oh, 1 or 11. Yeah, so the way I rule it is basically if like the ace is a bit of a jack, isn't it? In the sense that like it's a 1 or it counts as an 11 unless you go over, in which case it starts counting as a 1 again. So like if you have a if you have 13 and you get an ace, then that ace would automatically count as a 1. If the ace you have to start with is an 11, and then you get hit with like 2 6s, the ace goes down to being a 1 again. Isn't that how it works? Or did I like misinterpret the way blackjack works? Oh shit, it seems like after you jump the... Oh. Yeah, it seems to work. Okay, nice. Friggin' music, dude. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we can set a silence trigger inside the gym, I think. Oh, is it that the ace counts as whatever value is favorable, right? Isn't that the rule? Or did I just completely butcher the rules of blackjack? Yeah, so basically, I mean, the most favorable is always going to be the highest until it can no longer be the highest, right? At least that's like, I coded it the way, I mean, I could look at the actual blackjack code. I have like a summation. Yeah, calculate player hand score. So yeah, that's what I did. Sum with ace equals 0, sum with 11. But I wonder, is this even correct? Is this... because it's been working, but I'm... Yeah, because you'd never have two aces at once. That's the thing. You can never have two aces. That would be 11, right? You can only have one ace. That's 11. The rest of the ace would always be 1. Yeah, that's how I did it. Okay, yeah. You can never have two aces. So if you haven't encountered an ace in your hand yet, then we can do... There's only ever going to be one ace that counts as an 11 or not. And then if the 11 sum is greater than 21, it cancels out. So that's how yeah. I was smarter than I thought. Yeah, it's yeah. I don't know, there's there is a satisfaction when it comes to solving things in clever ways that are like, yeah, that's actually totally acceptable. But the worst thing is when you go and you look at your old code and you think, man, what was I doing there? That's stupid. And then you start rewriting it, and then you end up solving it the same way because you realize that the smarter solution you thought you'd have actually doesn't work. And you realize that way back when you were writing the code in the first place, that this smart solution doesn't work. So you had to go with the stupid solution. You just end up solving the problem the same way twice. Okay, that should be silent now, but... I guess what we could do is, in the minecart game... Yeah, I'm gonna be leaving soon too, so you're not missing out on too much. I'm just gonna make this, minecart game work as it should, with the music pausing. And you have a great weekend too, and I'll see you on Monday. Or actually, I will see you guys on Sunday. I'll probably be streaming on Sunday, because we're on road to release. You know, road to release. I will be back on Sunday. Yeah. What was it? What was it? God said that Sunday was the day of rest? No. Sunday was the day of stream. That's what he said. Road to release. Let's go. Like end game or something? End game, yeah. Okay, I think all the mini games are done now. I do need to fix one more thing, which is the I should boot up Penguin Heist to look that up right away. Or did I already add the sound for it? Well, I could look it up on my laptop. Apparently it was 2 months ago since I opened my laptop to work on Penguin Heist. A long time. Probably more than 2 months. Oh shit, it has to import all the shit as well. Damn it. Should have opened it earlier. Okay, well in that case, I don't know. Is it like assets, audio? Well, I guess it would be. That's the car engine loop, but is there like? Would it be there and then jet ski or something? Like boat? Look up all the loops. I'm assuming that it's gonna be here, cause Like, it's not the car engine loop, is it? They're always so loud. Scared to be... I mean, I don't know. Maybe we could just take one of these and just let it be like that. I think I'm doing like some pitching stuff as well for the... Yeah. See you later, Slummy. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Okay, I think we have it all covered. I think so. Oh, is that why it's leaking? I don't know. Maybe it's not. Okay, I think we're good there. So then it's ambience, music and convos, playthroughs, and tutorial. 4 things. Nice. Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you all for tuning in to stream today. It's been a short one, but I think we've been productive still. So, yeah, it's road to release. I'll see you all on Sunday. Sunday fun day. You all have a good rest of your day and good Saturday. Bye-bye. See ya.